I think the last time we were together when we were talking about public nuisances, we were talking about Century 3 Mall. That's an entirely different situation. That's a commercial structure. You know, we're talking about human lives here. You get the Rankin Bridge, come across the Rankin Bridge, you make a left, you go to Kennywood. 837's right there. At the first intersection, when you come across the bridge, if you come up the hill, Mon View Heights is at the top of the hill. It overlooks the Mon Valley. There are 153 kids that we know that live there on site, and that's just the kids that go to the West Mifflin School District. We're not sure what the toddlers. We know that there's a number of persons who are older. You could see from walking the property briefly like we did, there's a lot of problems with the steps and the ability for older people to get from one elevation to another. That has to change. From prior cases, you know that this office has the authority to abate, to correct nuisances. I've charged the company right now with both criminal nuisance, and I've charged them for environmental crime. Both of which provide the authority for us, law enforcement, to go in and abate those types of situations. We executed also 2 warrants in connection with the criminal complaint on the management company, one of which is on site, one of which is located in the Hill, off of Elmore Square. The management company is Wynn Residential. They're good people. You can only do so much, but you need the owner to give you the money to take care of business. And that has not been done. Just from a cursory review of the return on the search warrants, we know that the last 2, probably 3 payments, and that's a subsidized housing project. HUD subsidy is about $260,000 a month. It comes on the 2nd day of the month. And for the last two payments, I want to say August and September, and probably October, there has not been a dime put into that site. And when HUD identifies a tenant and provides they're supposed to provide safe and decent housing, the money that's provided is their money, as far as I'm concerned, and it's for that benefit. And the fact that they're paying these people and there's no return on that, they're not paying sewage, they're not paying electric. And by the way, the community building, that's where you vote. There's no power. You can't vote there. The complaint as it presently stands, we charged an LLC, that's a limited liability company. It was created specifically for the purpose of running that site. We do know who the individuals are who own the LLC. I have not charged them yet because I have not had the chance to sit down and talk to them to see what they're inclined to do to make the situation right. I've had the privilege and the honor of being district attorney for quite some time. I can't honestly tell you guys, I haven't seen a circumstance like this where people had to live under these types of conditions. It's just wrong at so many different levels. We are going through the demographic right now for the older population, and I can tell you this, I mean, what you saw is superficial for the most part. You've heard from some of the residents. There are substantial sewage problems out there. Mealy was here this morning. Mealy they're going to go to work today, and they're going to fix that one area proximate to where the bus stop is. That location where that sewage was coming into an open storm sewer is the hub of that complex. And you can see the buses, that's where they pick these kids up. That's access vans too for disabled people, that's where they come, through that area. And you can see when it was more active, a little bit of the rain too. You got a couple potholes and then you wind up right in front of that area. And the day that we were out here, there was running sewage into the street. And those potholes that were right in front of that bus stop were filled with sewage. It's a deplorable situation. 326 units, 79 presently are vacant. Rents range from $900 for a 1-bedroom to $1,450 for a 4-bedroom. This is how they advertise this location. 79 units cannot be occupied. They are vacant. So you got 250 families approximately up there that are being held hostage. Again, I think it's wrong. These are HUD subsidized. The number that I saw coming from the HUD subsidies, $233,161 a month approximately. And that varies depending upon the number of persons who are tenants. That money has not been used for the benefit of the people that live there, certainly over the last 2 or 3 months. They started to bounce checks, this company, in July. So payments for sewage, for instance, they bounced. So there's no money in the account, and actually the detectives, when they went in and executed the warrant, they found 97 cents in one of the accounts. So $233,000 in, $233,000 out to the bank that's controlled by the owners, and none of that went back into the benefit of safe and decent housing. That's sewage coming up from the ground, there's toilet paper and such. That family had to leave that particular unit. It goes far beyond the plywood on the window. The living conditions were deplorable, and there were 3 little guys in there, and a 4th one who's for that baby carriage. As we move forward, we're going to have to come to some conclusions collectively, with the municipality especially, which buildings can be taken care of You can see in this particular Unit 22, that obviously needs to be addressed. And there's unfortunately several buildings with that type of condition on the roof. Building 22, that's where this raw sewage was coming out of the basement into the parking area. The 2 cars that were there, by the way, they're abandoned, and they've been sitting there. The health department was notified September 9th by the chief, and they have not responded yet to send a plumber out here to take care of this. That is incredible to me. That's what this is all about. You know, when you come up here and you see these little guys and they're forced to live under this circumstance, it's wrong. It's just wrong. So I'm optimistic, you know, the relief and the things that I can do in court, and I need the judge's help on this. I think they'll help us. So we've identified probably 2/3, roughly 2/3 of the money comes from a HUD subsidy. 1/3 of rent comes from people's pockets. I intend to attach or ask a judge for permission to attach the HUD subsidy. And the HUD subsidy will go to the sheriff's department. That's why the sheriff is here in part. And by the way, the sheriff has already acknowledged nobody's going to be evicted from this site until we get this thing straightened out. No one's going to be hurt except the owners. Assuming the judge permits me to take the rent, we've done that several times. We did that in Baldwin on a 1,000-unit apartment building. Once you take the money, then the experts, the gentleman here from the municipality, they'll direct us which buildings do we fix first. How do we do this? Because we can't fix the whole site from jump, but we can today. I authorized Mealy to come in and take care of that sewage line out there. The statute that I'm proceeding on, it's a restitution and reparations statute. It provides a duty on behalf of the district attorney to pursue restitution and/or reparations on behalf of victims of crimes. Reparations are more of the intangible loss that you suffer from, for instance, lack of safe and decent housing. That's why in the prior matter, it was necessary to attach the rents, and then once you attach the rent, then we can control the project. Owner's not going to get paid anymore if I have my way. The banks aren't going to get paid anymore. All that money is going to go dollar for dollar into taking care of sewage, electric, just human, what you need and what you're entitled to when you rent property. We've done it before. Hopefully we're going to be able to do that again.